Some universities have already started accepting applications for the spring semester 2026 and fall semester 2026. So if you have the intention to study abroad next year, remember the preparation, the applications, and then the processes start this year. So you can start putting your documents together. You can start checking out programs in universities you are interested in so that you check out their deadlines and be able to put in your applications for the next academic semester and the next academic year, which is the spring semester 2026 and fall semester. On the Study Abroad podcast, in case you're new, my aim is to invite individuals who have been through the Study Abroad process for them to share their experience, their journey, where they are studying at, the kind of scholarship they are enjoying. Most of these you might have not heard before. So it opens your understanding, it clears your doubts, and also give you information on where some people are studying, the scholarships they are on, and how you can also apply. If this is your first time joining, you're welcome. This is the biggest Study Abroad content platform, and this is the Freddy Fix. Let me bring my guest on, and let's get started. Bro, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very great. How you doing, Fred?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for your time. A little introduction to the people seeing us for the first time, and where you are currently studying and where you are originally from.
All right. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching from. My name is Mike, and I currently live in Brazil, and I'm also studying in Brazil. I am originally from Nigeria in Africa.
Right. What was your previous academic qualification prior to relocating to Brazil?
Also, I actually had MPhil, Master of Philosophy. My background was I was supposed to continue from MPhil to PhD back in Nigeria, but because of funding and some other challenges. So, but basically, my previous uh, background, I mean, my previous degree before coming abroad was MPhil.
Oh, okay. So what did you have your bachelor's degree and then the MPhil in?
So my first degree was in biology education, and I also after that I did a master's degree in genetics.
Oh, okay.
So from there I did masters. I did molecular genetics for my MPhil. Then for what I'm doing right now,
So
still
are
molecular
you
genetics.
currently studying a PhD in Brazil or
Yes,
a master?
currently I'm doing a PhD in Brazil.
All right. If you're just tuning in, my guest is originally from Africa and is studying in Brazil. So he's going to explain to us how he applied, what scholarship he's on, and what universities, and how you can also apply. So let's start. What actually ignited your interest to want to study abroad, and why the choice of Brazil?
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Fred. I think that's a very good question. Like I said earlier, I was doing an MPhil back then in Lagos, Nigeria, and I was supposed to move from the MPhil to my PhD.
Mm,
And there was a project I was actually supposed to do. So while I was doing my literature review, one of the paper that I read was actually published from Brazil. So the publications resonate so much with what I was doing, and I reached out to the to the first author, who happened to be a professor in Brazil, and she was very happy, like, to hear someone from Africa, reading her work. And so I told her that I'm actually trying to do something related to what she did. And she said, okay, no problem, that if I'm also willing, that I can actually come to her lab. So basically, I was having a challenge with funding to do the project itself. So that was how the story started. Then I reached out to her. She accepted. She told me that I could come to her lab to do like a 6 month exchange program to do my project, then return back to my country. And I looked at all my savings. Then
mhm.
if I was going to invest all my saving, I would have been able to do that. But then when I come back, it would like starting all over again. So I
Right,
told her that, yeah. So
right.
that's
So I want to understand. Does that mean that your education in Brazil is fully funded? And when you say it's fully funded, what does it mean? Was it on a scholarship, a fellowship? How did you come to get such a scholarship?
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. So, my program in Brazil is on scholarship and it's fully funded. So
Okay.
I got to know about the scholarship when I told her, when I told this woman I'm referring to earlier on that uh if possible she could give me more time so that I can look for like a funding body that can maybe I can get grants to travel to Brazil. So it won't
Mhm.
just be, yeah. So she said, okay. And I stumbled on a particular scholarship. It is called GCUB, right? GCUB. So it was this scholarship that I applied to and I was selected. So I came to Brazil.
All right.
That's how I.
You are going to walk us through how you did your application and all that, but let me understand, what is the name of the university in Brazil you're studying at?
Okay, so right now I'm studying at the university. It's called Federal University of Pará, Para.
Oh, okay. Federal University of Para. Is it Paraná,
Yeah.
Paraná or Para?
Oh, we have Paraná, but where I am right now is called Pará.
Oh, okay. Okay, because I'm seeing Paraná. Okay, let me see.
Yeah,
I want
that's
to
why.
normally I want to share the website of the university so that people can know about it. Okay, so
Okay.
that's Federal University of Para. I've seen that.
Yeah.
All right, and is it that you can only do your master's or PhD in Brazil, or people who also want to study undergrad can also apply?
Yeah, that, first to answer that, Fred, I will really like to say that I really appreciate what you are doing because a lot of opportunities are here abroad that most of our people don't get to know about. For
Yeah.
example, if you want to do your undergraduate in Brazil, you can also do that on a scholarship, like on the premise of a scholarship. So there's another scholarship called PECG that you can
Hmm.
use to do your undergraduate in Brazil.
Okay, so it's possible for undergrad, it's possible for masters, and it's also possible for a PhD.
Exactly.
All right, let me share the website now. It's interesting that, and I like what you started with, that when most of us have the opportunity to get exposed to some of these opportunities, and we take that we take it upon ourselves to also let our people back home know that these are some of the scholarship, these are some of the universities, these are some of the opportunities outside that if you don't know about it, here you are, and then they can also apply. So Mike has a YouTube channel, and I love the name of the YouTube channel. It's called Knowledge Plug. So purely talking about information and ideas on how you can also study abroad. Michael, talk to us about your YouTube channel. What is it about, and why should we subscribe to it?
Okay, so the YouTube channel, just like you said, is called Knowledge Plug, and what I do basically is to share knowledge about opportunities for people that want to study in Brazil. So basically, I share information about studying in Brazil, different programs, different schools that are in Brazil, that are open. So I share it with people that. So if people subscribe, definitely they're going to be getting updated or updates information as regards studying in Brazil.
All right, great. So please go to YouTube. Are you on other platforms as well? So Knowledge, KNOWLEDGE, then space plug PLUG. So are you on other platforms as well? Or maybe Instagram, Twitter, TikTok? Are you on other platforms?
Yeah, I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, just to try to increase the wide coverage of people that get to know about
Yeah.
all this information.
All right,
So,
great. So the name of the university you are studying at is the name of the
Federal
university.
University of Para.
Okay, great. And I'm trying to share the website. So mostly people may not even know that some of these opportunities exist. So this is the
Yeah,
University of Para, the
exactly.
Federal University of Para. This is their website. So you're going to walk us through the application, and we'll be doing some comparisons. So I do have a master's degree. I do have a bachelor's degree, or I have a high school qualification. How do I apply to university in Brazil, and how do I get the scholarship?
Perfect. Thank you for the question. So I'm going to start from the BSc. Like if you want to come do your graduate undergraduate. So for the undergraduate, there is like a general scholarship that's comes out once every year, and it is called PEG-G. This one comes out in June. Okay, it usually comes out in the month of
Can
June
you
every year.
spell? I'm sorry. Can you spell the PEG-G? How do you spell that?
Okay, so the P for people, the
Mm-hmm.
E for effect, then the
Mm-hmm.
G for great, PEG, then PEG-G, PECG, PEG-G.
Okay. Can you spell it again? PECG.
Yeah, PECG. It's actually an acronym from Portuguese language, like it's a they call it intercambio, like international exchange program for graduate students. So that's where the G comes in. So the
Okay.
PEC is like an acronym from a Portuguese word.
All right. What's the full name of the scholarship?
The full name of my scholarship is GCUB.
No, I'm talking about the PEG-G. Like, what did you say the full name is?
Okay, okay. The full name of the PEG-G. Right now I can't remember, but the G is something gradual sound. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah,
All right.
I
So it means that if I do have a high school qualification, I should search
yeah,
for this, scholarship and apply, right? Um,
yes,
you know, I will try and share my screen so that people can follow. It's an educational platform. We want somebody watching us now to be able to take note and follow and be able to apply for the scholarships as well. So you don't apply to a school in Brazil, but you apply for the scholarship before getting admission into a school. Is that how it works?
yeah. For the undergraduate, that's how it works, but for
Mhm.
the graduates, that's not how it works.
Okay, let's start from undergraduate. I understand most countries, the undergraduate qualifications applications are different from the graduate. I do have a high school. Walk me through how I can study in Brazil.
Okay, so for you have an high school degree. I mean, your qualification is high school, and you want to study in Brazil. The first thing you are going to do is to wait till June when it comes out. Once it comes out, you are going to take your birth certificate, your high school certificate, then you take it to the embassy. There is no any screening. There is no any, but you must just be 18 years old. That's all, and you're going to specify that you want to study in Brazil. They're going to give you a form to fill, and once you fill the form, then you submit it with all those documents. That's all.
Okay, so you go to the Brazil embassy in your country
Yes.
to
Or
pick
you,
up.
you go to Brazil embassy in your country, but if you are living far, you could send them an email, and
Mhm.
you could send those things through courier or through via email.
Yeah, so you have to fill out a printed or a hard copy application form.
So the form can be sent to you electronically, but if you go there physically, they're going to give you a physical one.
Okay, and it means that the electronic one can be completed online, or you need to print it out and then fill it out with a pen, right?
No, everything can be done totally online. For example, if you are in, I have two people actually from Ghana in my
Mhm.
school, and they were telling me that they did all their own totally online without having to visit the embassy. The
Oh,
only
okay.
time they visited the embassy was when the results came, and they were trying to apply for visa. But throughout the process of applying, they never visited the embassy.
Oh, I see. I see. That is great. So let's proceed. Now I go pick out these forms in June, and then I am applying for the scholarship, not the school. So you are
Yeah.
getting the scholarship, and then later on, how then do you get admission into the school?
So in the form, they are also going to specify that you should pick five different schools.
In
Just like
Brazil?
yeah, like you should tick five different schools in Brazil. So you're going to tick five different schools. So thereafter, when the result is going to come, they will tell you, oh, out of the five schools you chose, this is the one that selected you, or this is the one that suits more, because they're also going to ask you that what are the courses that you intend to do. So
Mhm.
you could fill in like five different courses for each of those universities. So they're just going to come back to you and tell you, oh, you have been selected in Federal University of Para, for example, and you're going to be studying nursing. So that's how it works.
Oh, okay. So that is for the undergrad. Apart from this PEG-G scholarship, if somebody can afford to fund their education, how then do they apply to come and study undergrad in Brazil?
Okay, so if people are willing, like if someone can fund their education, that means you are considering private school, because all the universities that are federal and state in Brazil, everything is totally free. You are not going to pay a dime. Okay, so if you are thinking of funding your own education, that means you are thinking of private school, right? So the
Right.
private school, the application can be done online.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. Now let's go to the masters before we go to the PhD. So, for the masters application, you said it's a little bit different from the undergrad. Kindly explain that to us.
Okay, so for the masters is in two category, and I usually refer to okay, I will call the first category a conventional method and the
Mhm.
other one the non-conventional. So the conventional method is when you apply to opportunities that are open to Brazilians, but international students too can also apply. For
Right.
example, most of the videos that I posted on my channel lately, they are under the conventional. So this conventional, they do it twice every year. They do
Mhm.
it for first semester and second semester. Okay, so you can either apply for this for first semester or for the second semester. As I speak to you right now, openings are out for people that would want to resume in August, September of this
Okay.
year.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then,
So
I'll be happy you shared that. So somebody's asking. So let's go to back to the undergrad. I'm sorry. Somebody's asking. What are the requirements? So if I'm done with high school and I want to apply for the PECG scholarship for the undergraduate, what
yeah,
document should I put together?
you should have your high school certificate. You should have your
Mhm.
birth certificate. Then you should have your international passports.
These are the only three documents.
Just three documents.
Oh wow! So no transcript, recommendation, and stuff like that.
You need nothing of such. You need nothing of such. Just your first, your high school certificate, your
Mhm.
birth certificate, and your passport.
Okay. How do we email? How do we get the email of the embassy? And I don't know if there is there an embassy of Brazil in Nigeria?
Yeah, there's an embassy of Nigeria. I mean, of Brazil in Nigeria. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know about Ghana. If you know, there is
I think
embassy.
there is embassy of Brazil in Ghana as well. I'm not sure, but people
Okay.
told me that the lady that is my school told me that she didn't have to go to the embassy, that everything was done online.
Okay. How many languages do Brazilians speak, and are the courses taught in English? I know
Okay.
Brazilians speak Portuguese, right?
Yeah, Portuguese is the official language in Brazil.
Right.
So within the academic setting, you will
Mhm.
see like 60% of people that speaks English.
Okay.
Out of the 60%, 30% might be shy, but they
Mhm.
understand. Why the remaining 30% can speak and they can understand. But generally, Portuguese is the official language.
Okay, so the courses taught are taught in English and not Portuguese, or do you have to learn Portuguese before you start your studies?
Exactly. I am so sorry. I think I forgot to include that. Thank you for reminding me this. Yeah. So this
Mm.
PECG is divided into two. We have
Okay.
PEC PLE, right? And we also have PECG. So PECG is for people that already speaks Portuguese so that they
Okay.
can easily integrate into class. They can
Mhm.
start learning from class. Why PEC PLE is for people that coming from non Portuguese speaking countries. So the first thing they're going to do, the first year they will sit for they'll start going to classes for Portuguese to learn Portuguese, right?
Okay.
So after they've learning for 1 year, that is when they will start their program.
So, you having an opportunity to study in Brazil, what would you say is the difference between studying in Brazil, apart from the funding? You have the scholarship. What
Yeah.
is the difference between studying in Brazil and maybe studying in Nigeria?
Well, to be honest with you, Fred, there is a huge difference. There are
Mm.
huge differences when it comes to the core content, and
Mhm.
when it comes to practicality, right?
Mhm.
There is a huge difference. I had the opportunity to my first degree. Basically was theoretical based,
Mhm.
but in Brazil, like if they tell you that this is DNA, they will tell you how to extract it. They will show it to you. You will
Mhm.
practice it yourself. You are going to experiment it. Okay. So it is more of practical. And it's, there's an adage that says seeing is believing. When you
Mhm.
see something, there's tendency for you to believe, to know it, to also tell people, right? Rather than you trying to read it from Lambert. Oh, this is so I would say there is a huge difference.
To somebody who thinks that, oh, Fred, but Brazil is the same as Africa, what do you think it will be? Why would somebody want to study in Brazil instead of going to UK, instead of going to Canada or any other country?
Okay, so that's like a stereotype, or that's what people usually say. Ah, Brazil is a developing country. Well, when it comes to developing country, it also has category, right? So there's so many benefits associated with studying in Brazil. Okay, going
Right.
from the opportunity to naturalize. Okay,
Mhm.
and if you naturalize, you have the passport. You know, it gives you opportunities to so many countries,
Mhm.
including the UK, visa free.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
Okay. So
Visa free.
what I know, personally, what I do know about Brazil is football. You having to stay in the country, what can you
Yeah.
tell me? What else can you tell me about Brazil apart from football?
Yeah, but when it comes to Brazil, Brazil is actually very big when it comes to tech. They are very
Okay.
good. They're very big when it comes to animal production. As a
Mhm.
matter of fact, Brazil is one of the biggest producers of meat. Okay,
Okay.
so that also tells you that cost of living, food, they are very cheap, right?
Right.
For everybody, for both international or for citizens. So everything is just cheap, and the the interactions is a little, well, when it comes to culture. I believe different countries have their own culture. So what
Right.
I've seen here, it's there are things that I would definitely give kudos to.
And their ladies are also very beautiful.
Oh yeah.
You
Needless do we mention that if you are not married and
can't.
you are thinking of getting married, in fact, if you are married and you are not serious with your vow, you might need
Mm,
to change it if you come to Brazil. So their ladies are very, very beautiful.
yeah, that's very true. All right, if you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with my brother Mike. How do I mention your second name? How do you mention your
Okay, so this second name is pronounced Bolaniwa. It's like a Yoruba name in Nigeria.
what does it mean?
Bolaniwa. Yeah, someone that came with wealth.
Oh, okay. So you're already wealthy. And if
Yes,
you're just
yes.
tuning in, you're on the biggest Study Abroad content platform. The name is The Fred Effect. I'm speaking with my brother, Mike, who is currently studying on a full scholarship in Brazil, and he's explaining to us how you can also apply to study in Brazil. He has a YouTube channel called The Knowledge Plug. The reason for creating this platform is because he has the opportunity to study over there in Brazil, and he has discovered a lot of, information and opportunities that he's willing to share with us as well. If you remember, if you click on the subscribe button, if you follow, if you like, we are streaming across all the Fred Effect social media platforms. You enter the draw to be selected at the end of the session so that we assist you to go through the process as well. So, Mike, let's continue. So, in terms of the Brazil application, we apply for the scholarship, then we get admitted into the university. Let's start with how much did you spend on your process? How much, in terms of maybe Nigerian Naira, if you want to convert that, that's absolutely fine. How much did you spend on your process?
Yeah, I can as well talk about it in dollar. That's not a problem. And this is one of the things I've been trying to tell people. I know that moving to the US, to the
Yeah.
United Kingdom or Canada can be very, very expensive, right? Especially if the school is not giving you any scholarship. And most of the schools in the US are also giving, I'm glad you are in the US, most of them give you partial funding. So
Right.
one thing about Brazil is that all the schools, all the federal and the state, the municipal schools are free. And if you are coming under scholarship, your admission letter is also going to carry the amounts you're going to be receiving every month.
Mhm.
Okay. So that means you don't have to break the bank for POF.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're not paying school fees. So what you just need to provide is maybe what can sustain you. I mean, the amount of money that can sustain you for like 1 month before you start receiving the stipend. So when I
Mhm.
was coming, which is the question you asked me, what is like how much did I spend? I might not be able to because I came with family, I came with dependent, I came with my
Okay.
wife and
Okay.
kids. Yeah, because this
Yeah.
opportunity also allow you to do all of that.
Yeah, well,
So
and I was going to ask that if you have opportunity to travel with your family, but I'm glad you added that. So it means that if you are traveling as a single person, as a student, it might be a little bit different from if you are coming with family.
yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
So if you are coming as a single person, if you have from and you are coming under scholarship from $500, you are
Mhm.
good to go, bro. If you have just $500, you are good to go. Well, I'm not talking about your flight money though, but
Right.
because flight money could vary. But
Mhm.
I'm talking about the amount you are like, oh, this is what I have in my account. So
Mhm.
$500, it's enough.
How long did it take you? So, if somebody want to start the study abroad process to Brazil, how long should they estimate? 6 months, 1 year, 3 months? How long?
Okay, so it depends on the time the person wants to resume. Right now, as I speak to you, the next opening is for August, September, and the
Okay.
admission is currently on right now. Most of the schools are rolling out opportunity, which I'm also going to be sharing on my platform. Okay,
Mhm.
I already made some videos too that I'm going to be uploading. So the next intake or the next enrollment is going to be August, September, but the application is currently on as we speak.
Oh, awesome. All right. So now you explain how the bachelor's application should go. Let's start with the master's application. And of course, Mike has a lot of videos on his YouTube channel. I need you to subscribe that he shares some of these information. Go to YouTube, search for knowledge space, and then you add plug to it. All right, let's go on. So I do have a bachelor's degree. I want to apply for masters in Brazil. How should I go about it? And let's talk about CGPA for a start. Do they accept low CGPA? What should my CGPA be to qualify to apply?
All right. So when it comes to CGPA, it's another thing entirely, and that's one of the things that makes it interesting. Like I
Mhm.
told you earlier, they believe so much in in practical. Okay. So when it comes to CGPA, if you're having a low CGPA, it will still fly, especially if you have a work experience that can make up for it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So low CGPA is not even an issue at all, right? So basically, if you want to apply, two things are needed. You need a pre-proposal, like a proposal you intend to do for your master's or for your PhD.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to prepare that one. Then you need to convert if you are applying under the conventional, you need to convert your CV to the Brazilian academic CV format.
Mhm.
So this
Oh,
CV is
okay.
called, yeah, this CV is called Lattice CV. You can as well check online for Lattice. They have a platform for it.
Okay. So,
So
so you need to look for the Brazilian CV format. That's what you
yeah,
mean.
yes, you have to
Oh,
convert your CV to Brazilian academic CV format, and it
eh,
is something that you can do at the comfort of your room without having to, stress yourself.
and what did you say the name is?
The name is Lattice, Lattes.
Is it L or N?
L for Lagos. L
Okay. So
A
lattice.
Lattice, yeah, Lattice CV or Lattice curriculum.
Okay. So LATIX, is that the case?
Lattes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that's the Brazilian academic CV that you need to convert your CV to. And like I said earlier on, it is very easy to do. It is
Mhm.
user friendly. The website is user friendly. Once you are done doing that, you can download it as well.
The,
And
the, the good thing is that you made a video about it, which is on the YouTube channel,
exactly,
on how to
exactly.
get the latest CV format. So you just have to look at the format, and then you are able to work on that to suit how you want it to be. So that video was made like 10 months ago. I'm trying to look for it and then I'll show it to people.
Okay.
Yes, the only
Yeah, that,
CV. Yeah, that's it. So this
yeah.
is this is the video. You can check it out where Mike is explaining how you can work on your CV and turn it into the Brazilian format. All right, let's go on.
Okay. So the latest CV and the proposal, that is the what you intend to do when you get to the school. So these are just what they're going to use to assess you. Of course, the CV you would have include all your work experience and if you have publication actually gives you points. If you
Yeah.
have publication, if you have oral presentation or any other, production, it will definitely give you points. Okay, but basically these are what is needed.
Where do I go to start my application? The university's website, or I have to apply for the scholarship first?
Okay, so for I was trying to say that we have two different. We have the conventional. For the conventional, you have to do the application at the university website. Like
Okay.
you look for the university website, then you read the instructions, then you submit your application.
Hmm.
But there is another one that is called GCUB. This one is meant for international students alone. As a
Okay.
Brazilian, you are not eligible to apply. And this GCUB is going to come out next month, May.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's check out the website and share it with people. How do I go to that website? What should
Just
I go to
just
go?
type yeah, go to Google and type GCUB.
Okay, so I'm trying to share the screen so that people can follow what we are doing.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share my screen and then I'll start doing that so that people know that okay, this is how to go about things. All right,
Yeah.
if you are just tuning in, we are talking about how you can apply to get a scholarship to study in Brazil. My brother Mike is from Nigeria, and then he's currently studying on a full scholarship in Brazil. And interestingly, he happened to travel with family. So are you there with your kid and wife, or is only your wife?
Yeah, I came here with my wife and my kids. I have two kids when I was
Oh,
coming, and we all came together.
so I'm curious, does the scholarship cover your kids, or you have to, provide bank statement to take care of your kids?
Okay, so yeah, I had to provide a bank statement to, just to make sure that I already have preparation for my family. But
Mhm.
upon when you get to Brazil, there are different opportunities, right?
Right.
That your family can actually take advantage of.
If you're a student in the US and then you're able to travel with your family, they fall under a category of visa that does not permit them to work to earn money. If you're in Brazil and you go there with your family, are they allowed to work?
Yeah, if my wife wasn't working now, probably I would have been saying, I'm not sure. But right now, as I speak to you, my wife works. As a matter of fact, my wife started working the first week we got to Brazil. But that one was online. Okay.
Mhm.
She was working online because before we moved here, we changed our LinkedIn location to Brazil already. So we started looking for a job, right? But after a while, she got a job, a physical job. So to get what you once you get to Brazil, what you need to do is to get the work, they call it work card.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and once you are already there, either a foreigner or a citizen, you are
Mhm.
eligible to get the card. So once you get the card, you can start looking for a job.
All right. So, are your kids also allowed to go to school?
So yeah, my kids are not only allowed to go to school, they go to school for free. They give them school uniform for free. They give them school bag for free, and they eat twice in school for free.
Wow. So, how about the Portuguese? Your kids are coming from Nigeria. They speak English. Do they have to learn the Portuguese to be able to school over there?
Yeah, it could be a little challenge for kids anyway. For it could be a little challenge for kids, but
Hmm.
then kids pick language faster even than we adults, right?
Hmm.
So most of the schools too, you see teachers that speaks little English in the
Right.
basic school. I'm talking
Mm.
about the basic school, but in
Yeah.
higher school right now, you see many people, many professors that speaks just that they can't leave their language. Imagine someone in Ghana
Hmm.
leaving maybe English and using French to teach in a public school. So
That's
I
it.
think that's just it, right? So most of
Right.
the professors they understand English, but they can't just leave Portuguese and start teaching with Portuguese. So,
All
but
right.
for the kids, they were able to pick faster.
Whilst I was doing my master's, my scholarship covered my tuition, and then they pay me stipends, right? So, what does your scholarship cover? There are some UK scholarship, the Chevening, other scholarships. Sometimes it takes care of your flight ticket and all that. When you say you're on a full scholarship in Brazil, what actually does it cover?
Okay, so the full scholarship covers like tuition. Of course, we're not paying school fees. So they
Hmm.
give us monthly stipends to take care of our maybe you want to buy grocery, you want to rent accommodation, and but after my sets, okay, the subsequent one that came after me, some of them got the opportunity for flight. The flight that's going to bring them so was paid for. They reimbursed them when they got to Brazil. Okay.
Mm.
So the sets that follow that one that are resuming right now, they gave them like settling allowance, $1,500 settling allowance, which is
Yeah.
different from the stipends that they are going to pay them that month.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so yeah, and you eat in school almost for free, even
Right.
as a graduate student.
Let's start with the application. Now, I go to Google. I have bachelor's degree. I want to study masters in Brazil on a scholarship. What do
Yeah.
how do I start?
So you have, like I said earlier, you have two ways of doing that.
Mhm.
If you want to follow the conventional method or you want to go to the non-conventional method. So let's start from there. Should
Okay.
we go from the conventional? Should we start from the conventional?
Yeah, sure. I mean, however you want us to start.
Okay. So the first thing you have to do is to search, to know the school you want to go to in Brazil. Okay. So
All
for
right.
example, you can go to UFRGS. UFRGS. You can now write Mestrado. You can write it in English if you want. Masters in Education.
Okay.
Masters in Education. Yeah. Just write UFRGS. Masters in Education. So it's going to take you to like a particular website.
Is it this one?
I'm not sure I can say this.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I'm checking.
yes, exactly. This very one.
Okay.
So this particular department, so to say, or faculty, is actually open right now, but
Okay.
it's going to be closing soon, though. But there are some others. We are just using this one as a simulation, you know. So this particular one is actually open right now. So
Mm.
the what you're going to do is just to look for the information that carries the application process.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So once you get the it's supposed to be like a PDF file. So if you
Mhm.
download this, you can read everything. And one beautiful thing about this one specifically is that you might not even need your that lattice CV I mentioned earlier on.
Mhm.
Some schools are lenient about the lattice CV, some are stringent. So this particular faculty is a little bit lenient about the lattice CV. So that means you can come with the CV you use in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, whatever country you are watching from. So you can use it to apply. But this particular faculty is Faculty of Education.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you just have to provide your proposal, right, and write something like a cover letter and
Okay.
submit.
So it indicates that they have two undergraduate programs and they have a lot of graduate programs, about 16 of them. So there's art education, language and technology, ethics, and language education. There's personality culture, and then psychoanalysis education, cultural studies and education. So there's a lot of them over here.
Yeah.
So
So all these ones are research line now that are very, very, that can also inform you on how to prepare your proposal.
awesome. Awesome. So the route that takes us directly to the scholarship, how do we do that as well?
Yeah, you just go back to that particular place where you were right
Okay.
now.
Let me see if I can do that. Yeah.
No, no, no. At the Google, the first page on Google.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And what do we search for?
Just type UFRGS Masters in Education, then put 2025. Could you add 2025? So yeah, the keyword will be, it could make it specific.
Right. So this is what I have from my end. Do you see something different?
Could you see foreigner student can apply? Could you see that one straight
Yeah.
without even clicking it?
Yeah, sure. I can see
So
that.
so you could click that straight.
Yeah. So foreigner students can apply for master's degree using graduate record exams by submitting an application to the email address. Oh, okay. Applicants to doctoral degree shall send their application to the email provided, and interview will be conducted by the examination committee. Okay. Okay.
Now, if you scroll down a little bit, you see notice 01/2025.
Okay. Let's see. Notice.
Yeah,
Okay.
this particular place, yeah, that place. So if you click this place, it's also going to show you like detail of the one that is open right now.
Right. But this is
Yeah.
in Portuguese.
Yes, it will just be translated into English. Just
Oh,
put it in Google Translate, then you can have. But then, they've already stated that if you actually want to, as a foreigner, you could just send your application to that email.
mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah.
you now want to go through the process, then you might need to read this PDF file, then do every necessary thing. But then from this website, we're already seeing it is just one. That's one of the beautiful thing about Brazil. Their process are usually straightforward.
Oh, okay.
You
So
don't
you
have
can
to
just
go.
email them your document and that's it for the application.
Exactly. If anybody is not even going to get too much, I believe a lot of value is being disseminated from this channel. But
Mhm.
from this call we are in right now, if anybody is interested in education, just copy that email, send your document, send a cover letter to follow it, and wait for their response.
Awesome. And this is how we got here. So we just googled UFRGS Masters in Education 2025. So assuming you're watching this video some other time, it could be maybe UFRGS Masters in Education 2026.
Yes.
Right. This is
So
interesting.
like I said earlier, we are using this one as a simulation. Someone might be interested in the University of São Paulo, University of Rio de Janeiro,
Mhm.
different universities. So you can just use this keyword to search for, and it will take you directly to how to apply.
Oh, okay. That's absolutely fine. Let's talk about the visa process. And I asked you earlier, how long did it take you for you to move from applying to finally getting to Brazil?
Yeah, to apply. I applied because I wanted, like I told you, I came with my family. I
Mhm.
applied when I was submitting my application form. There was
Right.
something that was still needed, but they told me at the visa office that I could drop my application and their own, or I could return everything back until when I get the document they are requesting for. But I told them that no, I'm going to drop it with them. So I dropped it with them, and I could also follow it up online as it is moving from each of the stages. So my visa was ready 1 week after submission.
No, I'm talking about the entire application process. So now, if
Oh,
somebody is going to start applying to the school before they get admission and go through the visa process, how long should the person estimate?
yeah. So okay, let's take a let me use this one that is open right now as an
Mhm.
example. You should just think of like 4 to 5 months
Oh,
between
okay.
now to August.
I see.
But
And
between now to June, you will have known your stand. So just for you to start preparing for to resume.
you mentioned estimating around $500. So what does this money go into? Is it application fees? Is it visa application? What does this money go into? Paying for?
So this money is just for you to, like, you have it in your pocket. It doesn't go into application. You don't pay application fee. Most of the schools, once they know that you're a foreign student, they waive
Mhm.
the application automatically. Especially, for example, this one we checked. Once you're a foreign student, automatically the application fee is waived for you. Okay.
Right.
So the money is just to be in your account, like a proof of funds, so to say, right? But then the visa application fee is dependent on the different country. For example, in Nigeria, the visa application fee was like 185,000 naira.
So, and how do you convert that? How much would that be in dollars? Because the Nigerian currency is a lot. 185,000 before you realize like 10 Ghana cedis.
So what 185,000 naira to dollar is not so much. Okay, let's just use dollar to cut across all,
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to know the conversion in dollars.
Okay, so
185,000.
yeah, it's like $120,
Oh,
121.
so yeah, $120 is 185,000 naira. That's a lot.
You can imagine.
Oh, okay. Then it's not that expensive for the visa application fee, but just like you said, the visa application is dependent on the country you're
Yeah,
applying from. All right,
yeah.
this is very great information. Normally, people only focus on UK, Canada, Australia, USA, but there are a lot of opportunities. And I don't know if you know Waka Waka Doctor. He used to say something like, if where you are moving to is better than where you are, then he would advise you to move. and mostly there's always a stepping stone. Sometimes people have challenges. Okay, I'm not able to secure US visa. There are other opportunities in other countries you should look at.
Yeah.
And one of them obviously is Brazil. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome. Somebody is asking about what if they have HND or ND? How do you go about that?
So for HND or ND, there's no
Your
disqualification.
your video is off, bro.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All
So
right, that's
for HND or ND, there's no any discrimination. There's no any discrimination. Either but for ND, you can't use ND to do masters. It has to be HND, right? But
right.
there's no discrimination between HND and BSc. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
that because even HND people, they are more of practical, they do more of practical work because it's a polytechnic. So that, but then there's no discrimination between these two.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, remember you can join us live, and we'll be able to respond to your questions. I'm talking to my brother Mike, who is currently studying in Brazil, and interestingly, he moved there with a family as well, and their family is doing great. Yeah, his kids are schooling there for free and all that. I wanted to ask you. We spoke about what Brazil is known for. What are some of the culture shocks since you went there? Um, when I traveled to the US, one of the culture shocks was that, if they don't hear what you say, they say, huh? So like maybe my name is Fred and the person does not hear you. Like, huh? What are some of the culture shocks you encountered?
Okay, so some of the cultural or culture shock that I've experienced there is, I would say, well, it might not actually sound like a culture shock, but
Mm,
then I will mention this because it stands out and it's about
right.
the hospitality of Brazilians. Like a Brazilians can literally leave what they are doing and go extra mile just to make sure that you are satisfied, just to make sure that you are assisted, right? So to me, it's more of like a culture shock because where I'm coming from, we might not be able to do that, for long. But
Yeah.
in Brazil, they can go extra mile just to make sure that they assist you.
Oh, I see.
Then
I see.
another, let me talk about this culture shock, but this has to be, it has to do with food.
Mhm.
Back in Nigeria, we know that there's a staple food. They call it gari,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have Gary
So
in Ghana too.
yeah, so in Nigeria, you can use gari to make eba like a paste, or you
Mhm.
can use it to, maybe you want to eat beans, you can drink gari and eat beans. But here
Yeah.
in Brazil, when they are eating rice, they put gari on the rice. So to me, it's like a shock, right?
Yeah.
So it's like a shock from the food aspect.
Right. So if you are just tuning in, you can request and then you join the stream, and I'll be able to pick you, and then we can respond to your questions as well. Let's see. Let's talk about if you were required to write any exams, like the IELTS, the TOEFL, the English proficiency exams, or GRE, GMAT. Do you need to write any of those exams?
None of these are requested. None of them are needed. But sometimes if you are coming from non-English speaking country, even
Mhm.
though Brazil doesn't speak English, most of the articles, most of the materials they use in teaching, they are published in English. So if you are coming from non-English speaking country, they might want to see like a proficiency in English, right? But for people that are coming from English speaking country, there's nothing. You're not going to write a GMAT. You're not going to write a TOEFL or IELTS.
Right. How long is your visa for? I'm talking about how do you know how long your visa is going to be, and does it also cut across with your family? So if you're I'm trying to say that if you were given 2 years of visa, doesn't mean that your family also had 2 years of visa. And what next after your studies? You mentioned the opportunity to be able to get a permanent stay. Are you able to work over there? Would you be able to get a permanent residency? How does that work?
Okay, so these are so many questions in one.
Yeah.
So let me
Yeah.
take it one after the other. So
Mm,
when I got here with my family,
mhm.
my visa was I was supposed to go to the Policia Federal, like the federal, the office. So where I will change my visa to maybe 1 year. So,
Okay.
but for my family, for my dependents, immediately we got to the office, to their office, their own visa was extended to 4 years immediately.
Hmm.
So,
Oh,
but
okay.
me, 4 years. So, but me being the principal applicant, I was given 1 year. I need to be renewing it every year. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I need to be renewing my visa every year. But now I'm already a permanent resident.
Hmm.
I came here August 2023. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
I should be 2 years by August of this year in Brazil. But already I'm a permanent citizen, and very soon I'll probably be doing my naturalization.
Oh, okay. So you're a permanent resident, and later on you'll be naturalizing. So, in countries, in certain countries, you need to secure a job. You need to, maybe if you're married to a citizen, then how do you transition from the student visa to permanent residency?
Okay, so there are three different ways to transition.
Mm,
One, if you have an investment that is above 1,500, I mean, that is above 150,000 Brazilian reais. That is the currency in Brazil. That
okay.
is the first one. The second one is if you have a baby in Brazil, immediately you become a permanent resident.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Then the third one is divided into two. That is, if you have spent 4 years in Brazil, you
Mhm.
automatically qualify to apply for permanent residence. But if you do, for example, you come to Brazil and you are doing masters, after your master is 2 years. After that masters, you can after that masters, you can look for a job. Okay,
Mhm.
they're going to give you extension automatically, extension to look for a job. So if you
Yeah.
get a job, your employer can help you file for permanent citizen.
Mm.
I
So,
mean,
so
permanent residence.
I see. Does your scholarship allow you to be working while schooling?
Oh, yeah. So there are different scholarship bodies in Brazil.
Mhm.
Okay. The one under which I am does not allow physical paid job. All these things are law related stuff. It
Yeah.
does not allow me to do physical, underline, physical paid job. That means I can actually work online.
Mhm.
So I work online, but I can't do a physical job. But my dependent can.
How much are we looking at in terms of the stipend? Are you paid monthly or biweekly?
Oh, they pay me monthly, and they pay for if you are doing a PhD, they're going to be paying you 3,000. The least you can get, the least is 3,100 reais. Or 3,100 reais is like how much in Ghana cedis?
Yeah, I'm trying to convert that.
Okay, I'm trying to do that. So if you're going to be using Wise, which is like a popular um, money exchange
Yeah.
app, so it's showing me that it's going to be like 2,637 Ghana cedis
Oh, okay. Monthly.
monthly. You receive
And
that every month.
yeah, and this
Sorry,
is
sorry, sorry. No, 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 no. That's wrong. What I did was 1,000. It's going to be 8,177 for
eight eight
PhD.
8,000 Ghana cedis.
I beg your pardon. 8,000, 3,100. Just let me do the conversion again.
So you said it's 3,100 Brazilian currency.
It's 8,177 Ghana cedis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
In
Okay.
reais it's 3,100 reais.
Oh, 3,100.
Yeah. But this figure is for a PhD student. If you are doing your masters, you'll be receiving 5,539 Ghana cedis. That is
Oh,
for
okay.
masters.
Okay. And out of this is what you use to pay your accommodation.
Accommodation, maybe buy groceries. That's all.
You are staying with family, but how much do you think it will be approximately if you're for rent where you are?
Okay, so cost of living also varies depending on different regions,
Mhm.
right? So where I am right now, the cost of living with a family, someone with a family, you'll probably be spending like 1,500 every month.
Right.
So this cover your accommodation and the food you're going to be buying.
I'm speaking with Mike. Mike is studying on a full scholarship in Brazil. So Mike is explaining to us how he got to do it and how you can do it. He spoke to us about the cost involved, the documents you need, as well as how long it's going to take you. There are a lot of opportunities almost everywhere. So he's, and I like the fact that you dedicated your channel to be able to bring out the opportunities in Brazil. God bless you for that. So you can request and then join us. If you do have questions, you can type them in the comment section, and then I'll be reading them. You want to charge your phone?
Yeah, I just want to plug my phone so that it doesn't
please
go.
do that. Please do that. All right. So I'm speaking with Mike. Mike is originally from Brazil, and then is originally from Nigeria. I beg your pardon. He's originally from Nigeria and he's studying at Brazil. So he's explaining to us how he did it and how you can do it. He spoke to us about the documents you need if you have a high school, want to study in Brazil and all that. Let's see if Mike is back, then we'll continue. If you do have questions, thank you for tuning in. Obed, shout outs to you. Shout outs to Anthony Thomas, Ibrahim Lukman. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. Brakwe Godson, I see you. Mario, and then Fortitude, Adenyeku. I hope I got the name right. Yeah, Yao Owusu Efiye, and then Hamad, I see you as well. Sarah Jamia, thank you for tuning in. Moses on X, thank you for tuning in. Hassan, and then Freddy, Eugene Opoku, Mackenzie TV, Maxenda TV. Okay, I think I got it. Maxenda TV, Tete David, thank you for tuning in. Ohineba Tue, and then Mawiram, thank you for tuning in. All right. Okay. I think this is great. Right. So I was asking, let's see. Somebody's in to talk to you. Let's talk to the person. Hi, Alexis. How you doing? Your microphone is muted, Alexis. You have to unmute it.
Sorry, I'm good. Yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Talk to Mike.
All right, Mike. How are you?
Hello, it's a pleasure. Good evening.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
No.
Can you hear me? Hello, Alexis. Can you hear me? But Fred, you can hear me though.
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Alexis is having challenges with a connection.
Okay.
So yeah, quite unfortunate. If you have questions for us, you can request, and then I'll be able to. Alexis, I think you can restart your device and come back if the network is stable. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can bring somebody on. Thank you for tuning in, Stephen. So let's talk about, what you wish you knew before starting this process. Sometimes when we go through a process, it teaches us a lot of lessons. So if you were supposed to start this whole process again, what would you do differently?
Well, if I was going to start again, I think I would have started earlier.
Okay.
But I would have started earlier. I think that's what I would just, because when you recall that I said I sent an email to a professor and she told me I could come to Brazil, and I was contemplating, Brazil, I don't think Brazil is good. I don't think, because of what I was reading online.
Yeah.
But, getting to Brazil, seeing everything firsthand, I realized that I wish, sometimes I just said to myself, I wish I started earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think that's what I would just say as regards if looking back, what I feel, when I got to Brazil, I got a job back home. Like they sent me from my department, they sent me an opportunity that I could come and resume as a forensic analyst. Okay. In a forensic lab. But I was looking at, I also get to ask someone that how much do they want to pay for this position. And I realized that the amount they are even going to pay was not even up to what a master's student receives in Brazil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
so to be honest, I would say, looking back, I can only thank God that I made the move.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's always, that uncertainty, especially if you want to travel somewhere, and especially with you trying to move your family. There will be a lot of things that you should contemplate. Should you sell the properties you have back home? How are things going to be?
Exactly.
So it's always great when we have people like yourself who have been through the process and would want to
Yeah.
share with us what is over there before we decide to make the move. All right. Let's see. So shout out to your wife. I think she has been also supportive, and all that, and your kids too.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Fred.
Hamad, you have to have your video on and then talk to Mike. All right, please speak to Mike.
Hello. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, very.
You're
Okay.
audible, Ahmad.
Good evening from Ghana, Mike. I have two questions for Mike and also Frederick. So the first question, I joined late, so I don't know whether you have already clarified this. So for the Brazil, is there a visa interview process involved in this?
So throughout all the process, like I said, the visa process might be a little bit different in different countries. But in Nigeria, there was no single interview. There was a lady recently that wanted to come from Nigeria, and she didn't tell me that she had some times ago applied for visa in Nigeria to come to Brazil. So the visa has not been. There was no decision yet. Her passport was still at, so she got a scholarship that we're working together. She got a scholarship. So now she wants to apply for student visa, but there's a need for her to retrieve back the passport. So when she retrieved it back and she applied for student visa, I think that signaled something to them, and they told her that they would like to see her, right? So that was the only time I've heard someone in a very long time going for, like, the moment she got there, they were asking her, oh, so why did you retrieve your first, your passport from the first application? So she explained to them, and in fact, she was blaming, she almost started cursing the person that invited her, because it was more or less like wasting of money. She flew from Abuja to Lagos, right? Just for her to be asked one single statement. So what I'm trying to tell you is that they don't do any, for students, people going under student scholarship, student visa, people applying for student visa, there's no any interview. Once they see your admission letter, this admission letter are usually signed electronically, and once they confirm, there's no any issue.
Okay. All right. Then for my second question, Fred, can I proceed? All right. So I wanted to know, at the interview stage of the US application process, does the VO have access to know whether you have applied for diversity visa or not? In the sense that, like, have you if you have
I
applied?
get your question. You don't want to doubt what information they do have access to and what they don't have access to. And in one of my interviews with a former visa officer, I think I asked this question, and she was like, if you won, then they actually have your information, but you just have to be truthful. You don't want to doubt what they do have access to and what they don't have access to. And I disagree that if you've ever applied for the DV lottery, that means you have an immigration intent. You didn't win, so I don't think it makes any difference. You just have to be truthful.
That's fine. Thank you very much. But the last one, I wanted to know whether do you stand in the interview when you go for the interview with the US visa reviews? Do you stand or you sit? Because I'm always told that you should look directly in the eyes.
Yeah, so that depends. That's a very good question. I love that. That depends on the embassy you're going to, right? So things change. The arrangement in one country. So I know in Cote d'Ivoire, people sit. I'm not very sure about that, but in Ghana you stand. If you go to the UK, I think people sit. It depends on, and also it depends on the category of visa. Some immigrant category of visas are they're allowed to sit one-on-one with them, but mostly you stand just like how the bank looks like. right? When you go to a bank, the teller is sitting in there. There's a glass separating you and the teller. So assuming you, the applicant, is the customer, and normally you have other customers in the queue. When you're talking to the visa officer, in this case, the bank teller, everybody hears, but just that nobody cares because they are thinking about their own stuff. So, in Ghana, you stand, but in other countries, it depends. You may sit, you may stand.
All right. Thank you very much for the.
All right. Thank you for coming on. Thank you very much, Hamad, for coming on. So you can also request I share the link on the various social media platforms. My brother Mike is here, and then I'm also here. If you have questions for me, I'll be happy to respond to them. So what would be your general advice to somebody who wants to study in Brazil? What should they do to increase their chances of getting the admission, the scholarship? And, like my brother was asking, the visa processes too. You've clarified that there is no in-person visa interview. They may or they may not interview you depending on the country. What would be your general advice to somebody who wants to study in Brazil?
Okay, so my general advice would be, and the advice right now, sir, is going to be like a two-edged sword, okay? Especially for people that are bent on going to the US, or the UK or Canada, and you have been trying over time and you are not getting it. Why don't you just start from Brazil? Brazil, where I am right now, is just like a throw stone to Miami. If you apply for US visa from Brazil, it is so easy, straightforward, no long appointment and all of that. So for people that are looking for where to study, I'm going to advise you to think of Brazil, because Brazil is very, very, the academic in Brazil is very robust, and you have so many opportunities if you study in Brazil. So many opportunities.
Do you assist people if they want to apply? And if yes, how do they reach out to you? So you have the experience, you create content on that. If somebody needs assistance, sometimes certain things are a bit challenging to understand or to do it on your own. So how do people reach out to you if they need help? And do you do that in the first place?
Oh, yeah. So I actually have an email on the YouTube channel. So if you have any question, like you want me to clarify, of course, just send email. I will be willing to, of course, definitely. Just say you are from Fred. I will run and quickly attend to the email.
Okay, so I saw the email, but I want to share it so that people can also see on the YouTube channel, and that's why you have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You have to first of all subscribe before you reach out. On the YouTube channel, if you go to Knowledge Plug, and then you click on more, like I'm doing, you see the email address here. So KensAcademy@gmail.com. So that is it. And if you take your time and go through the videos, you notice that most of the opportunities have already been shared in a video format, and sometimes you can easily follow and do it yourself. But yeah, my brother is available if you want to reach out to him. KensAcademy@gmail.com. I'm going to paste it, the email, in the comment section. It makes it easier for people to check it out as well. Right.
Okay.
Let me see if I can do it. Awesome. So when you went to Brazil, were you asked to learn the Portuguese for a year before starting your PhD?
No. In my own case, I don't have to learn Portuguese before coming. So the learning of the Portuguese is for undergrad. Undergraduates, they just need to learn. There are so many. There are so many things they just need to learn. But for postgraduates, you already have like an idea of what you want to do. You are not afraid so for postgraduates, you don't need to learn Portuguese. So as I was going to class, I was also going to Portuguese classes. Okay, so I was doing it simultaneously in my own case. But for undergraduates, you have to focus on the Portuguese class for 1 year or 10 months.
Okay, so are you fluent in Portuguese?
Agora eu sabia falar muito bem em português, mas ainda não. So what I'm saying now is that I can speak very well. Like when I got to Brazil, if I want to go anywhere, I was usually scared. Oh, how am I going to say something? How am I going to say this? But right now, like there's nothing I cannot say. There's nothing I cannot express myself in. Do you understand? So, and I'm still learning.
Use Portuguese to tell people to subscribe to this channel.
Por favor, eu quero que você corte esse canal, por favor.
Oh, okay. Whatever my brother said, please subscribe. Please subscribe. It's been an interesting conversation. I really appreciate your time, and I am happy that people are not gatekeeping, and when they find an opportunity, and when somebody has get the opportunity to travel and study in Brazil, it doesn't reduce the opportunities. You have to be there, right? Sometimes we think that if I apply to a scholarship and I share it with somebody, it becomes a competition. There's nothing like that. The sky is big. All of us can fly. We don't have to crash against one another, right?
Exactly.
So please subscribe to the Knowledge Buddy YouTube channel. If you're just joining us, please do that. And you get to learn. People have already done what you want to do, so you don't necessarily have to struggle to get it done. Yeah. All right. I don't know if Michael, if you have any other thing for our viewers before we sign out.
All right. Yeah. So the first I'm going to say is that I really want to appreciate you, Fred, for the great thing you are doing. I would say that you have no idea of so many of the influence or the amount of information you are dishing out to people, and you have no idea of so many people that are benefiting from your channel. And I want to say thank you for what you are doing. Kudos to you. And myself also, I've also been following your channel. And one thing that I know as culture, for you to know that I also follow this channel and I also watch the video, is that you usually do you roll something at the end of stuff. I mean, end of a conversation like this. So I'm gonna say that whoever that is interested in coming to Brazil, if anybody is interested, maybe one person, I could also be part of someone that can assist the person to realize his or her goal in coming to study in Brazil.
Yeah, so we do the draw and then we select one person. And, if you are being selected, I'll connect you with Mike, and then Mike will support you with the applications to study in Brazil. So you need to be serious and get your document also ready. The unfortunate thing is that sometimes you are willing to help our brothers and sisters, but, some people do not, take their whole process serious. But if you want to be successful with this process, understand that it will take some kind of commitment and a level of seriousness for you to be successful. So somebody just popped in, Albert. Let's see if we can talk to Albert. Albert, how are you doing, sir? Albert, can you please hear me? Okay, Albert has a poor connection. All right, so let's have the draw. Let's select one person. We connect you to Michael. All right, let's see who gets selected today. Let's see. Okay. All right, Benedict Inkum. All right, congrats, you've been selected, and then you have to simply send me a direct message on Instagram, and then I'll connect you to Michael. Michael, God bless you, and keep putting out the information to be able to support our brothers. And of course, you can invite me on your channel any day, anytime. I'll be happy to collaborate and all that. There are a lot of opportunities that we need to share for our brothers and sisters back home to know as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Fred. I really so much appreciate for sharing this platform with me. It's a huge for me. So I really want to appreciate you. Thank you so much, Fred.
Awesome. Thank you so much, bro. All right. So that was Michael. Michael is originally from Nigeria, and then he is studying on a full scholarship in Brazil. He shared his experience and how he was able to apply. He explained if you do have a high school qualification, how you can apply. If you do have a bachelor's and want to pursue master's, how you can go about it. Remember, this session will still be live across all the FredEffects social media platforms, so you can go replay it, including the ones that we've had with other people. And every week what we do is that we select one person who we mentor through the process. So when you join, you comment, you like, you share, and then other people also benefit from the ideas and information we pour out on this platform. My name has been Fred. This is the biggest study abroad content platform, and we focus on the positive side, right? So there are several ways that we can communicate with you. Instead of scaring you, we rather want you to understand that if Mike was able to do it, you can do it. If the FredEffects was able to do it, you can also do it. It's been a great session. I'll see you next week. Please be positive and know that everything will be fine.